name is Caitlin Cipriano. I moved to Boston to go to Manual College, and I went right into my master's program in Connecticut at University of St. Joe's and ended up obtaining my master's degree in clinical social work. I technically lived with my mom for a year prior to me entering college, so I was receiving financial aid based off of her income, which was nothing. Yeah, she didn't have a degree, she was a receptionist. And then once it transferred over to my dad worked 2 full-time jobs as a mailman and a security guard, so he was making a substantial amount of money, and that's when the financial aid kind of just cut off. It almost became a part of my personality to be very resistant to even answering the phone to the loan company. They were just so persistent. I was almost so used to seeing their number and just clicking decline or at times I would answer and I would tell them I cannot pay, and I was never supported. I never felt heard, and it was usually a different person calling every time and me re-explaining why I can't afford these payments. At that time, my loans defaulted. Obviously, my long-term goal was to pay my loans, but I did not foresee that to be an option at that point. So I looked and looked and looked. I called Yrefy. Tatum spoke to me, and she listened, and she was the first person to really hear my story and why I couldn't make my payments. And she was very honest with me, which transparency was so huge to me at that time, because I felt like every loan department or person I would call gave me the runaround, and I finally felt like, okay, she's listening, she hears me, this is a program that could actually help. So when I called Felix, I said, I don't want to go through with another program that I can follow per student and make on-time payments. I don't want to go into default again. But he was like, hold on, don't jump the gun. Let me go talk to some people. I'm like, who is he going to talk to? He calls me back and he's like, I talked to the CEO of the company and he's willing to help you out. He heard your story, and I remember driving in the car talking to him, and I was just like, is this really happening? Are they? I couldn't believe it. That's amazing that people do really care. It made me, believe in your company when you are looking to take out student loans. I think that was a very confusing, unknown process for me, and I thought that the process that I was doing was correct. Now learning that you don't have to automatically go for private loans. Just make sure to utilize all potential options for student loans. For those struggling, I've struggled for many years with the thought of overwhelming loans that I would never be able to get out of. Similarly, look into your options. There are companies like Yrefy willing to help and hear you as a person and not alone. I would recommend Yrefy for those who are struggling with student loan debt. They've helped me so much, and I feel a lot more comfortable to handle my finances.